Hello YouTube, my name is Astra, and if you clicked on this video, you are going to be watching me watch FNAF's entire FNAF timeline video. Oh my god, that took so many takes. For a little bit of context, I have been a FNAF fan since I was about 11 or 12 years old, but I stopped watching eventually after reading the Silver Eyes novels, and this is going to be my first step back into the series in a long time, so enjoy! I followed it up to the point where I got to the end of the novel of the Silver Eyes series, where it was revealed that, like, what's her name? Charlie was, like, 4 different robots. And that's when they kind of lost me. That's when they kind of lost me, and I was like, a girl who was a robot in 4 different parts, and then, yeah.
Get ready for a surprise!
Oh, shit.
She can sing.
That is loud.
All back, all of them, together in one place.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a franchise with over a decade's worth of content, spanning countless games,
That
books,
game came
and
out
now
when I was,
a
like,
movie.
11,
There's a
by the
reason
way.
that no matter whose timeline you watch, they all look different. Making a FNAF timeline is not easy. There are so many ways you can interpret this story, and this is mine. So let's start
I actually have
at the beginning. Back in the 70s, a company called Fazbear Entertainment got its start by creating different props and mascot costumes for carnivals, and specifically for something
I don't
called
remember
the
that!
Fall Fest. The Fall Fest featured various mascot characters, such as a bird, an elephant, and the most
I don't remember that ugly-ass elephant! What is this?
popular of all, Fredbear and Bonnie. These specific mascot costumes were so popular, Fazbear Entertainment opened a dedicated restaurant for them called Fredbear's Family Diner, featuring the same Fredbear and Bonnie mascot
Told you it
costumes
gets
from
deep.
the Fall Fest.
Oh, I
What
remember
Fazbear
that one. I remember that thing.
Entertainment
Kind of.
didn't account for, though, was one of their animatronics from the Fall Fest going rogue, ending in a giant fire.
What is that?
With most of everything from the Fall Fest being destroyed.
Oh my god. This is like Law and Order. It's like an episode of Law and Order, not Law and Order. What is it? Black Mirror? Is there anything SCP where people just love it basically based on I don't know. There's a book series that's kind of based on like Goosebumps, I think. That many a days watching. Markiplier was like the king of this. And then Game Theory is a lore king.
The specifics about the animatronic that went rogue and the fire are unknown, and will likely be revealed next year in FNAF's next big release.
Oh.
Although we don't know much about how this fire occurred, we do know that after the fire, Fazbear Entertainment started phasing out of the mascot
I didn't realize they had, like, an
costume era.
elephant
They needed
costume.
something new. The 2 men who helped found Fazbear Entertainment, William Afton and Henry Emily, stepped up to the plate. William Afton was mostly
Henry
the
Emily is
businessman
dead,
of
though,
the
no?
two,
Isn't he
handling
Charlie's
all of
dad?
the money, while
Sorry,
Henry
spoilers.
was the more creative one, with him being in charge of building most of the animatronics and props for the company. With the Fall Fest era of the company coming to a close, they were only left with Fredbear's Family Diner, the standalone restaurant created for the Fredbear and Bonnie characters. In order to replace the mascot versions of Fredbear and Bonnie, Henry went to work on new versions of the characters, eventually creating the new
Can I just say, that mascot is so freaking creepy. Like, it's somehow more creepy than what ended up happening.
Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, the same characters but with new designs and new suits. Henry called them Springlock suits. These suits are able
Hold on. I was thinking Smash? No! Pass! Easy pass! No! Absolutely not. That's a pass. It's so uncanny. His eyes are like bulging out, even more so than the animatronics
to
somehow.
double as both an animatronic and a suit that the employees could wear. To switch the suit from animatronic mode to suit mode, the employees could use a hand crank to pull back the animatronic parts, leaving room for them to climb inside. The spring locks that were helping to hold back those animatronic parts were very sensitive though.
Oh,
And
ew,
with
why
even
would
a
you do
little bit of
that?
moisture, the spring locks could potentially snap shut, crushing and killing whoever was inside.
Dude, you
But
have to
if that
sign
ended
so
up
many papers
happening,
for that.
Fazbear Entertainment had some common sense procedures set in place.
In case that the spring locks come loose while you are wearing a suit, please try to maneuver away from populated areas before bleeding out. and to not ruin the customer experience.
Fredbear's Family Diner ended up being super successful for William and Henry, so
Yeah?
much
How
so
many
that
employees did
other
they kill?
companies tried replicating it. Another company proceeded to rip off Fazbear Entertainment's old mascot characters by creating their own animatronic versions of them. The leader of the group was Ned Bear, a direct copy of Fredbear, followed by a hippo, an
Timu.
elephant, and
Timu-
a frog,
Timu
all
Fredbear.
characters from the Fall Fest, and all with slightly different designs to avoid copyright issues. But while the rival company was able to replicate the designs,
Glad
they
to
could
see
not
that this part of the
replicate
world
Henry's
is so
state-of-the-art
realistic.
technology. Their robots were poorly made and had to have giant batteries with exposed wires on stage with them.
Oh,
Naturally,
whoa.
the rival company failed and ended up being bought out by Fazbear Entertainment. With all of the success from Fredbear's Family Diner, William and Henry decided to branch out and create
Mr.
more
Hippo Man,
characters
he's
for a
really
new
freaky. They're all
restaurant.
freaky.
In 1983, William and Henry opened Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, featuring Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie,
I like you could
Chica,
tell the
and
ripoffs are
Foxy.
kinda
With the
also
opening
just
of Freddy
cheaper
Fazbear's
copies.
Pizza, Fazbear Entertainment was experiencing
FNAF.
success like they've never seen before. But
You can
with
tell
two
that they're also
restaurants
worse
now
quality.
open at the same time, more success also meant more work for William and Henry. The duo were so wrapped up in work that they started neglecting their own families. William was the father of 3 kids, the eldest, Michael, the crying child, and Elizabeth. The crying child has yet to have a 100% confirmed
He had
name,
kids?
so for this video, he will just
I know that this guy went around killing other kids. You're telling me he had kids and then went around killing other kids? He has his own supply, man. If you're really that into it,
be called the crying child.
you have your own
Meanwhile,
supply of
Henry
children
had
to go
one
after.
kid, a
Why are
daughter
you
named
killing other
Charlie.
people's kids?
The business partners spent most of their days
Oh, yeah, that's
working,
Charlie.
so they both created different ways of taking care of their kids. Henry was the robotics genius, so he used his talents to create a new animatronic to watch Charlie for him. It was called the security puppet. This animatronic
I remember
would
that
sit
thing.
by the door of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and make sure that Charlie wasn't able to leave the building. This made it so Charlie could play at the restaurant while Henry worked, without
lock
Henry
the
having
door,
to worry
man.
about her leaving the building or getting kidnapped. The
Just
robot
lock
was
the
linked
door.
directly to a green bracelet that Charlie was wearing. If Charlie, wearing the green bracelet, tried leaving the building, the security puppet would spring into action. William, on the other hand, was the businessman of the company. He cared more about making money, but also saving money. Naturally, he decided to just force his eldest son, Michael, to babysit while he was at work. Michael was mostly in charge of babysitting the crying child.
Oh my
The
God,
crying child
that
didn't
is
have
truly
many friends,
a
but he did
idea of
have
all
a
times.
close relationship with his plushies. These
Busy
plushies
parent
were of
makes
characters
oldest
from his
sibling
favorite
take care of
show,
children. Where have I
Fredbear
heard of
and
that
Friends,
before?
Fazbear Entertainment's newest cartoon, featuring Fredbear, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. The crying child's favorite character, though, was Fredbear. He especially loved his Fredbear plushie. Although he loved the plushie version of the characters, the animatronics would soon become a different story.
What is that?
One day, while visiting Fredbear's Family Diner, the crying child saw something that would scar him for the rest of his life. While wandering the restaurant, he walked by the employees only
Oh, I
room,
remember this.
where an employee accidentally left the door open. Inside the room was his father, William Afton, helping another employee into a spring Bonnie suit. But through the eyes of the
This
crying
is like seeing Mickey Mouse take off his head at Disneyland. It's like seeing Mickey Mouse take off his head at Disneyland, and you're just like, oh my God, what is this?
child, this looked like someone was literally being stuffed into an animatronic suit. The crying child was so young that he wasn't educated on how the mascot characters worked, so seeing a human be put inside of one terrified him. When a child experiences something traumatic, their
Minnie
brain
Mouse's head
naturally
comes
tries
off and it's a
finding ways to
70-year-old
deal with
chain
that
smoker.
trauma. The crying child's way of dealing with his trauma was by creating an imaginary friend. This imaginary friend took the form of the object he loved the most, his Fredbear plushie. His new imaginary friend Fredbear followed him wherever he went, shape-shifting into flowers, hiding behind cars and in the sewers, with nobody being able to see him except for the crying child. When the
So his
crying
coping is
child
just
was
he developed a
overwhelmed,
second
the plushie would
personality,
talk
kind
to
of.
him and try to calm him down. Even when the plushie wasn't around, it was still able to speak to him because it lived in his mind. While the crying child was dealing with the trauma of seeing what he thinks was someone being stuffed into a suit, his brother Michael was only making it worse. Michael knew about what happened with his younger brother and used it against him. Every day while
he
babysitting
tormented
the
his
crying
brother. I
child,
remember
Michael
that.
would put on a Foxy mask, hide somewhere in the house, and jump scare his little brother.
So mean. Whoa. What is this? What is this from? I don't remember a game that looks like this. Oh, look, 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 there's a plushie.
From the pizzeria to your
Oh my
living
God.
room, you no longer have to wait to sing and dance with Fredbear.
Dude, those old style cartoons are so scary.
7 Central. Only
I'm
on-
sorry, I know some of you guys probably grew up with it, but those old style cartoons are so freaking scary. Is this an actual game? Wait, is this an actual game? I would 100% play this. This looks so scary, though. Oh! Just hide under the bed, man. Wait, really? Is it a game? Should we play it?
Through all of Michael's bullying, the crying child's imaginary friend Fredbear would comfort him and talk him through the situation, saying,
knew that was
"You
gonna
know he
happen.
is
I
hiding
knew he
again.
jumps
Be
out of the
careful.
bed."
Tomorrow is another day." Michael wasn't the only one bullying the crying child, though. The local kids in the neighborhood heard about why the crying child was so scared of the pizzeria, even making up fake rumors related to what the crying child thought he saw there. "You'd better watch out. I hear they come to life at night. And if you die, they hide your body and never tell anyone."
A clock
But
that
all of
lights
this
up
bullying
at
would
midnight is a
come to
crazy
head on
choice of
one
decor.
special day,
Dad had
the
some
crying
real
child's
choices in
birthday.
business
Ironically,
and decor.
his birthday party was
Where's
being
their
held
mom?
at Fredbear's
Actually,
family
where's
diner because he was
Purple
so
Guy's wife? Where is the mother in all this? Why does the hold on? This is like what, in the 1970s? Why does the mom not? Sorry, not to conform to gender roles here, but like, shouldn't the mom be taking care of the kids in this case? Then, where is mom? Where is the mother?
terrified
It's
of
never
being at the
mentioned, no
pizzeria,
clue.
He hid under the table,
she just
not
leave?
knowing that Michael and his friends
Might be-
were nearby, planning a prank that would go terribly wrong.
Dude, what is this from? This game looks awesome. Is this like a retelling of 4? Or is this like custom animated?
Pizza, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie will be performing in 5
Wait, that's
minutes.
Game Theory! That's MatPat! I would recognize MatPat's voice anywhere. Oh, dude, that looks freaky. Oh, God. Hey, 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 hey. That's crazy
Michael
timing,
and his friends
EJ.
lifted the crying child up to, quote, give Fredbear
Thank
a
you for
big
the
kiss,
resub
and
feature,
Fredbear
EJ.
bit down on him, leaving his
Hi,
body
EJ.
to go limp. Michael and his friends quickly stopped laughing. Because of Michael's immature behavior, his terrified younger brother paid the ultimate price. Although the crying child was
Why would you
badly
just
hurt,
hold
he
him
didn't
there?
immediately die. Because of the immense brain damage,
But
he
why would you
slipped
just
into a
hold him there?
coma.
That's
After being
horrible.
treated at a hospital, the crying child was taken home so he could be comfortable, surrounded by his only friends, his plushies.
Was that the-
In
yeah, was that
crying
the fight of
child's final
87?
moments, Michael decides to apologize.
Wait,
for
that
what
was
he's
in
done,
1970s
saying, "Can you
though."
hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry." After Michael speaks, the crying
that's his
child's
brother.
imaginary friend Fredbear, created out of the trauma he experienced, continues doing what it's done the whole time. It comforts him, saying, "You're broken. We are still your friends. Do you still believe that? I'm still here.
Do you
I
think
will
his
put you
brother,
back
because I
together."
noticed that the Foxy mask is gone, right? Do you think he like ripped off his head and wore his head? Or like he took it off because his brother, he didn't like the fact that his brother kept scaring him with the Foxy mask. I love that frame. Reminds me of the scene from Hereditary. Do you think he like took it off and then like started wearing it? Or do you think the kid himself removed it?
This would be the
to-
final thing the crying
because he was so
child hears before
traumatized from
he
his brother
dies.
constantly
The crying
scaring
child's
him.
spirit would then live on in the Fredbear suit, the thing that took his life. The crying child's
How?
death wasn't just an accident. It was directly caused by Michael's recklessness. This is something that Michael could potentially face jail time for,
Right, I
so
see,
it
I
needed
see.
to be covered up. Since the crying child was being kept at home, no one else knew that he ended up passing away. So William and Michael ended up burying the crying child's body in the middle of the woods where no one would find him. No tombstone, no flowers, just
An
a pile of
unmarked
dirt,
grave for
an
your kid is
unmarked grave,
crazy!
And a lifetime's worth of guilt that Michael would have to live with. Shortly after the incident, Fredbear's Family Diner was quickly shut down.
Unmarked
and
grave for
Fredbear
your
was
own kid
completely
is
wiped from
insane,
existence.
William.
The Fredbear and Friends TV show turned into Freddy and Friends on tour. The Fredbear and Spring Bonnie Springlock suits also ended up being moved into the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, mainly being used as spare suits if one of the Freddy's animatronics broke down. The death of William Afton's
Dude, they should
youngest
just
son
like
was a
remove
pivotal
the
moment
thing
in this
inside,
story.
like the little like
Specifically, William
contraption
Afton's
that
story.
springs on
This
you.
was the first domino to fall. A father losing his son is a traumatic situation, and while any other father
Okay, so it
would
turns out
take
he did
time
kill
to
his own
grieve,
kid.
be sad, and properly deal with such a big loss,
Well, I guess he
William
didn't.
Afton took a different route. Afton definitely was upset about his son dying, but it wasn't because he felt bad for his son, it was because it was embarrassing to him. William Afton was a narcissist. He had little to no empathy. All he cared about was work and comparing himself to his business partner, Henry. Henry had a wife, a kid, and a talent for robotics that Afton
Where's
was
his wife?
utterly jealous of.
Where's
The
your
death of the
wife?
crying child sent Afton over the edge.
To be
because
fair, if
while
I was his
Henry's
wife,
family
I
was
too would
still
divorce him
perfect,
after what
his
happened.
was now broken. Henry and William had different ways of taking care of their kids, and while Afton employing his eldest son failed, Henry's security puppet succeeded. Henry's daughter, Charlie, lived on. Afton had a hard time dealing with this feeling of embarrassment. He started becoming an alcoholic, frequently visiting the local bar called Junior's. One night, though,
game
after
did not have to
drinking a
be
little
so
too much
realistic.
and getting kicked out of the bar, he decided that he was going to settle the score with Henry. Afton, drunk and filled with
Maybe
rage,
bro got
drove
cucked.
from the bar to Freddy
You think he had a
Fazbear's
crush on his
Pizza, where
wife?
he knew Charlie was being watched over by Henry's security puppet. Afton planned on risking everything to kill Henry's daughter, Charlie. He didn't care if he got caught, and he didn't care if he went to prison.
Dude!
But when Afton got to Freddy's, he noticed that Charlie was standing outside by herself. It turned out that some bullies were able to trap the security puppet in its box and lock Charlie outside the building, giving Afton the perfect opportunity to kill Charlie outside.
Oh, that
of
was
the
a drive-by
pizzeria.
kill.
The security puppet
Wait, that was
eventually
his-
able
that was
to
his
escape
business
its
partner's
box
daughter?
and went looking for Charlie. As Afton sped away, the puppet noticed that Charlie was outside in the pouring rain. It then did what it was programmed to do and went to protect her.
Dude!
But as the puppet got closer to Charlie's body, the rain started making it short circuit. It was forced to crawl its way over to her until the rain got to be too much, and the puppet shut down right next to Charlie's body. While Charlie and the puppet lay lifeless next to each other, Afton was speeding home, driving right past where he buried his son and
what
the
is
bar
wrong
he
with
got
you?
kicked out of. When Afton got home, he was met with his wife sitting in the living room watching
Oh, he does have a
TV,
wife!
and Michael in his bedroom. Afton was a drunk and abusive father and fully blamed Michael for what happened to his youngest son.
To be fair, it
Mrs.
was kind
Afton
of his
tells him
fault.
to leave Michael alone because he's had a tough day, but Afton doesn't listen. He goes over to Michael's room and pounds on the door, only for the door to be locked. He then makes his way around the house to try and find a way in from the outside. But once he gets to Michael's bedroom window, he
I wonder how
notices
Michael
that
feels
it's
about all
broken,
this, to be
and
fair.
Michael was gone. Michael was so upset by what he did to his brother that he would sometimes see visions of Fredbear appear and disappear. Tonight, Fredbear appeared outside his bedroom window.
To be fair.
And it almost felt like his
Yeah,
brother
okay, at
was
least he feels
calling
bad.
out to him from beyond the grave. This would happen frequently, and every time it did, Michael would run to the spot where they buried his younger brother, only to find that nothing had changed. His younger brother was still gone and buried in the ground. Afton knew Michael did this often, saying, "Ran off to that place again. He will be sorry when he gets
He's gonna
back."
beat
The
his
guilt
ass.
of killing his younger
Aw.
brother haunted Michael in his real life, but also in his dreams. Michael would constantly have nightmares about the animatronic that took his brother's life. These were the exact
I
same
wonder if his
nightmares
friends
his
feel
younger
guilty,
brother
too.
used to have every night, now passed on to him.
Oh. Oh. Oh god. Hell no. Hell nah. Dude, what game is this? This game looks awesome. Is this the original animation? Or is this actually the game? Oh my god. Hell no. It's an actual game? Which one is it? One of the games, 5, I think? It's 5. Oh my god.
After the death of Charlie,
More looks like
Fazbear
animation of
Entertainment
FNAF
tried
4.
their best at covering it up. Fortunately for them,
I thought
and
4
for
was the
William,
one
crime
where
was
it's like
committed outside,
you're
where no
playing
one was
as like the
around to
one
witness it.
where you're
William
in the
was able
house
to get
though.
away
You don't
with
actually get to walk
everything, while
around.
Fazbear Entertainment never spoke of the incident again. The security puppet was quickly moved to the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where the retired Fredbear and Spring Bonnie suits resided. But
You think the
something
two
was
kids-
different about the security puppet. Dark tears
Yeah.
now appeared on the
Okay.
mask of the animatronic.
Yeah, same
Dark
room. You think
tears
the two
that
kids
weren't
just like
there
sat
before.
beside each
This
other
is
for like a
something
couple
that
years
Afton
and
quickly
then like,
noticed the
what is
next
it?
day when
What's
he
her
went
name?
into work.
Charlie?
He'd
Charlie was just like, hey, kid, your dad killed me. And he's like, yeah, I know.
heard about what happened moments after he sped off. He knew the security puppet was found laying next to Charlie's body. So does that mean Charlie's soul now resided in the puppet? William definitely noticed that the puppet
Thank you,
looked different,
Lychee.
almost like it was haunted, almost like it was thinking. Other employees would eventually notice the same thing.
I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking, and it can go anywhere.
After realizing the security puppet may be possessed by the spirit of Charlie, Afton went back and looked at the crying child's Fredbear plushie, only to find that it also seemed to be haunted. The
By
crying
what?
child feared for his life every single day, and that plushie was something he was able to cry and pour his agony into. Afton believed that this is what caused the plushie to appear haunted. It wasn't made alive by the spirit of his son, it was made alive by the agony and fear his son poured into
Oh, so
it.
fear
Afton
can
quickly
power
became
things
obsessed
now?
with the concept of haunted objects, and more specifically, the power of human emotion. He needed to find out if this is something he could take advantage of. Afton then used
How?
all of his money he
What
made
do you
from
wanna take
Fredbear's
advantage of
and
here,
Freddy
bro?
Fazbear's Pizza to build a giant underground facility directly under his house. It was here that he would try to recreate what happened with his son,
It's
to
4 or 5,
recreate the
really?
fear and agony he experienced. In order to do this, Afton didn't take any chances. He needed to replicate exactly what his son went through every day.
Are you
In order
kidding?
to do this, Afton built a replica of his house underground, along with his son's daily walk to Fredbear's family diner.
Why would
He
you
also
do
built a
that?
makeshift bedroom where he could force kids to have the same nightmare every night. Afton would sit in his office watching them on the cameras that could be accessed using the passcode 1983, the year his son got bit.
That's
he
a
also
psycho
kept the
move.
crying child's Fredbear
That- yeah,
plushie
I
on the
understand he's a
desk
psycho, but
reminder
still.
of what he was trying
To be fair, if you found out that fear and agony could be converted to power, you bet your ass that all. Well, okay, depends. What kind of power is if fear and agony, if fear and agony driven things are not like, well, yeah, because well, listen, if fear and agony can create things that are like fear and agony driven, I'm not gonna turn on the orphan crushing machine. But like, if it can create like a Leon S. Kennedy, then like we have room for discussion. You know, we have room for discussion when it comes to that.
to replicate.
There's room
In
for
the makeshift
discussion.
bedroom, there were dummy animatronics that wheeled down the hallway.
Oh wow, what an asshole!
But the kids wouldn't see them as just blank dummies on wheels.
No, it's
Afton
not.
would pump hallucinogenic gas into the room to get the kids to think that what they were seeing was a monster. These nightmare gas canisters were being stored all throughout his underground facility, and on the bed of this makeshift bedroom was a Freddy plushie, in the hopes that the kids would pour their fear and agony
Wait, yes,
into
Scarecrow!
the
Scarecrow was driven on fear. His entire thing was that he like injected Batman with like fear juice and was like, hey, Bats, you scared yet? Stuff like that. I remember. I got so pissed off during his section in Asylum.
like his son did to his plushie. On the other side of the bunker, where Afton recreated the crying child's walk to Fredbear's, he placed a bunch of Fredbear plushies all over the place.
What?
These Fredbear plushies had walkie-talkies inside of them. This was Afton's way of recreating his son's imaginary friend that would talk to him wherever he went.
Are you
Afton would
serious?
speak to the kids through his walkie-talkie.
Dude, he's fucking
sitting in his
psychotic!
private office. After setting up the bunker, Afton was only missing one more thing: the
A kid?
kids to run these experiments on. He needed a way to kidnap and capture
still have
kids
two
without
more.
being caught.
To be
and
fair,
he
you have
had
two
the
more.
Perfect way to do it.
You have a daughter.
The show will begin momentarily. Everyone, please stay in your seats.
Enter Circus Baby and the Funtime animatronics. These robots were specifically built by Afton to capture kids, featuring Circus Baby.
I remember the
Funtime
trailer
Freddy,
for this
Funtime
one.
Foxy,
I remember
and
the trailer
Ballora.
of like
they feature
the
advanced technology
don't tell
such
the
as
kids
parental
this.
tracking, voice
I remember
mimicking
that.
/ luring, and storage tanks. Circus Baby, the
A
star
man
of the
can't have a
group, was
hobby without
even
being a
able to make
psycho.
ice cream as a way to lure kids to her. Once the kid got too close, a giant claw would reach out, grab them, and lock them in the animatronics storage tank. Some
then
of the
not just
board
kill
members
them?
from Fazbear Entertainment were suspicious of these new animatronics.
She can dance. She can sing. She's equipped with a built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips. She can take song requests. She can even dispense.
He's pretty good at making these animatronics.
With all due respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton.
Afton even created a new restaurant for these animatronics called Circus Baby's Pizza World. Elizabeth, William Afton's daughter, was fascinated by Circus Baby. All she wanted to do was play with her, but Afton wouldn't let her.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her? You let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go?
He strictly told her to stay away from the animatronic. But one day, she didn't listen. On the opening day of Circus Baby's Pizza World, another domino would fall in Afton's life, and Elizabeth would soon be the victim of his terrible misdeeds.
I can do something special. Did you know that? I can make ice cream, although I only did it once. What a wonderful day, though. I was in a small room with balloons
Dude,
and a few
just
tables.
just
I
put a
would
safety
always
lock.
count the children.
Just give it up, man.
Not sure why. They usually
What flavor
played
was it,
together
vanilla?
in groups of 2 or 3. There were 4.
That looks like
then
vanilla
3,
ice cream.
Then 2. Then 1. Time to play.
Dude, these animations are original then, no? Dude, that thing is massive.
Ice cream.
Ooh! Dude, how does that not kill the kid? Does he not need the kids alive?
Something happened when there was 1. I was no longer myself. There was screaming for a moment, but only for a moment.
In an instant, Elizabeth was grabbed by Circus Baby and thrown into her stomach hatch.
Dude,
The
well, if
sheer
you just
force
stopped
of her
making
being
these, you
grabbed
also
and
wouldn't
thrown
lose your
into the
daughter.
robot's storage tank was enough to kill her almost instantly. This
God.
is something that William wasn't able to test. That was until his daughter became the test. William Afton now lost another one of his kids. But
Dude!
this time, it was all his fault.
Just give it
After
up at
just
that
one day
point.
of being open, Circus Baby's Pizza World was shut down. Afton covered up the incident by telling the public that the restaurant shut down due to gas leaks. But not everyone bought that story. The local newspaper wrote about the incident, saying, in other news, the grand opening of Circus Baby's Pizza World has apparently been canceled due to reported gas leaks in the building. Sources close to the establishment questioned the report, saying that strange activity around the area at night
Baby
suggests
Crusher
something
2000
else
is
to blame.
crazy.
One local is quoted as saying,
Dude.
everything just stopped. There was so much excitement built around this place opening, and then they just stopped talking.
Yeah, because
about
the
it.
guy
A
literally
tenant from
killed his
across
own
the street
daughter. Maybe
claims
he
to have
just
witnessed
stop
a
doing
large
these
group of
experiments
cars
and he wouldn't
surrounding
lose
the
his
building
daughter,
during the night,
too.
and large pieces
If he's
of
upset
equipment being
about
taken out of the building under
Henry,
tarps. A few
if he's
weeks
upset
later,
about
the building was for
Henry
sale. There is
having
no comment
a
yet from the
perfect
local
family, maybe you should just
entrepreneur
stop
who financed
sabotaging
the
your own
venture.
family
That
by
local
creating baby
entrepreneur,
crushers,
William
man. Put
Afton,
it next to
successfully
Orphan
covered
Crusher.
up everything. He was able to bring Circus Baby
Not
and
the
Funtime
sunk cost
animatronics
fallacy.
back down into his bunker. But once he got them there, he
Never
noticed
back
something
down,
was
never
different
what?
about Circus Baby. One
Never
distinct
give up.
feature about Circus Baby was her blue eyes. But what once was blue eyes now were green.
Oh, because
the
she had
same
green
color
eyes.
as
I was
Elizabeth's.
wondering why
In that
her
moment,
green-
he
her
knew
eyes
that
are
his
green
daughter's soul
in some of the
attached
art.
itself to the robot. Her soul lived on in Circus Baby. Afton knew that the way Charlie went on to possess the puppet was sloppy, and it was hard to recreate
Can't get the
without
diamonds
getting caught.
stopped
But what
mining
if the kids'
Astras?
bodies were hidden where no one would ever look? What if, just like his daughter,
Oh, is that
their
why he
bodies
started
were
shoving
stuffed
kids into the goddamn
animatronics?
suits?
For Afton, Elizabeth's death quickly went from just another inconvenience to a scientific breakthrough. Afton was one step closer to harnessing the power of life itself. But one successful experiment wasn't enough. Just like the fear experiments he built in the
shoved
bunker,
them into
he
suits
needed to
because he
replicate
figured out that's the
exactly
best
what
way.
happened. He needed to recreate the accident, and he knew exactly how he was going to.
How much money does this guy have? I just want to ask, what is his net worth? What is his net worth? And why is it nearly infinite, man? So dead, yeah, but like, why is it nearly infinite, dude? How do you have that much money to create? Also, I just want to say, he's pretty good at making. Also, he was a narcissist. He didn't care about the kids. They were just possession to him. The wife should have taken the kids. You're not considering William. I'm just saying, why the hell is he like? Why is he like? I don't know. He's just so inefficient with this. He's so inefficient with this, man. Like, dude, if you're gonna do this, like, pick A. Don't let your daughter into the damn restaurant, man. Don't let your daughter into the damn restaurant in the first place if you, like, don't want your kid to get scooped. Step 1, make robots. Step 2, crush kids. Step 3, question mark. Plot twist, the wife was the moneymaker. I don't know what's up with his wife. And pay. Yeah, and also if you paid for a babysitter, that just wouldn't happen to begin with. Man has enough money. I just want to point this out. He has enough money to build an entire underground facility to house this crazy ass experiment without having a guaranteed source of experimental test subjects. Like, he could have just, like, ran a dental clinic or something like that. I bet you running a dental clinic would be, like, way cheaper than whatever the fuck he came up with creating these circus pizza baby things. I'm just saying, he really wanted money. For this? If he's that good, why is he putting facial recognition on the child crushing machine? Dude, he had the money to build an entire underground facility to house this experiment, but he can't pay a teenage girl to babysit his kids. I just want to point this out. Especially in, like, the 70s, you pay a kid, like, $3 an hour, and that's babysitting, man. $3 an hour? And also, did he really need Henry? Did he really need Henry if he can make a... I just want to point this out. He's pretty good at making these robots. If the girl can just, like, create balloons out of her fingertips. You have a helium tank to put, like, balloons in your fingertips. There's gotta be, like... I'm just saying. He has a talent. Just go be an engineer. There's probably better things you can do than, like, trying to study soul incidents. Henry's an accident, like he didn't know it could happen. No. Like what's it called? William made these guys, right? The shinier guys in the back. What was her name? Baby? He was the one who designed Baby. Henry's security system worked after getting him abducted. Like that one villain from Spider-Man at the time. He's just really incompetent. And because of his narcissism, he can't admit that he's incompetent. So he's just like he's like doubling and tripling down. He can make pretty good robots. If Baby can fill it, if she can make ice cream from her stomach, like fresh ice cream that won't give a kid a stomachache, dude, William, go sell those. What are you fucking around with kid souls for, man?
But he didn't need the Funtime animatronics. He was going to run the experiment himself. On June 26,
Henry's an accident. Charlie was on purpose, tipped him off.
Made his way to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. There, he would put on the old spring body suit from Fredbear's to lure 5 kids into the back room.
Dude, these animations are awesome. They even follow Couch Potato. Is Galaga? Oh my god!
Hello.
Oh fuck no!
Looking for a friend?
The water's clear.
Fuck no!
Swim with me
Ew! Fuck no! Dude, if that thing came up to me, I'm crying! Was he just giving out prizes for all the kids that he kidnaps?
One by one, Afton killed them and stuffed their bodies into the animatronics.
He was just
Susie was
experimenting
first,
at this
being
point.
stuffed into Chica. Gabriel went into
they have
Freddy,
names now?
Jeremy into Bonnie, Fritz into Foxy, and then there was Cassidy, who went into Fredbear, aka
Dumbass
Golden
prizes.
Freddy. At this point, Afton had no idea that the crying child
Dude,
spirit
he's
was
just-
in Golden Freddy, so he didn't think twice about shoving Cassidy in there. The way Afton killed Cassidy, though, was different from the rest. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were just regular animatronics. Afton had no choice but to kill them, then stuff them into the suits. But Golden Freddy wasn't just a regular animatronic, it was a Springlock suit. The same Springlock
Oh, did he
suit
shove his
that took
kid in
his
the
youngest
freaking
son's
Springlocks?
life. Afton was aware of how dangerous the Springlocks were. Any bit of moisture or too much movement would cause them to
Oh, no,
snap
when the
shut,
kid was probably
slowly
crying.
killing whoever was inside. So that's exactly what he did to Cassidy. He put him into the suit and watched as the Springlocks snapped shut, cementing Cassidy's death as the most brutal of them all. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy weren't the only animatronics sitting in the back room of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, though. They were joined by the security puppet, which contained the soul of Henry's
She's just
daughter,
watching,
Charlie.
like,
Once
Jesus
Afton was
fuck.
gone, Charlie jumped into action, almost acting as a guide for their souls, properly giving them life inside of each animatronic.
How did she do that,
After the
then?
incident, the kids were
I remember
quickly
this
reported
minigame.
missing by their families. And although the security cameras caught Afton luring the kids away, he wasn't able to fully get in trouble. Since he was wearing the Spring Bonnie suit, they were never able to prove it was actually him. Afton also hid the kids' bodies.
God
where
forbid,
no
the
one
guy-
would
the
ever
killer's wearing a
look, so the bodies
rabbit
were never
mask.
found. Unbelievably, Afton was able to get away with yet another crime. Because of all the bad press that came from the missing children's incident,
Yeah, at that
people
point, just,
stopped
like,
coming
don't
to the
open this
pizzeria.
anymore, man.
After months of customers no longer showing up,
Chuck E.
Fazbear
Cheese would be
Entertainment
closed at this
officially
point.
shut down Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Shortly after the pizzeria shut down, Afton decided to pull the Funtime animatronics out of retirement and finally get his underground facility fully operational. He knew he couldn't try opening another Circus Babies restaurant, so he had a new idea.
Due to the massive success and even more
That's
so
crazy
the
that Circus
unfortunate closing
Circus
of Freddy Fazbear's
Pizzeria
Pizza,
closed
it was
before it
clear
even
that the
opened because his
stage
own
was set,
daughter
no
was
pun
fucking
intended,
around.
for another contender in children's entertainment. Unlike most entertainment venues, our robotic entertainers are rented out for private parties during the day.
Afton opened Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental. This way, he could rent out the Funtime animatronics
Oh, those are
to
drawn.
local
Those are
birthday
custom drawn.
parties,
That's pretty
capture
cool.
kids, and bring them back to his underground bunker to be experimented on. While
Oh,
Afton was running his
God.
rental business, Fazbear Entertainment was determined to try opening another pizzeria. In the summer of 1987, Fazbear Entertainment opened the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, this time with brand new versions of the
Oh, I remember
original
those guys.
characters.
All right, this
These
is coming
were
into
called
territory
the
where I
toy
remember pretty well.
animatronics, and they were once again built by Henry. Henry was aware of what happened in 1985, and especially of what happened to his daughter, so he was determined to
So
make
did he
sure
know?
that
Why
never
didn't he
happened
tell police
again.
that it was
These
probably
new toy
Afton then?
animatronics were equipped with facial recognition systems that were linked directly
Oh, that's
to a
why you guys said it was
criminal database.
foreshadowing.
The
I forgot that
security
these guys
puppet
could
was
facially
also brought
recognize
out
you.
of retirement, but instead of working security, it sat quietly in the prize corner. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, and Spring Bonnie were also moved to the new pizzeria, and it's revealed that these animatronics
You'd be surprised how many times you can get investors to invest in failed business
The
propositions.
older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now. The idea at first was to repair them, but they were just so ugly, you know? And the smell.
I'm sure there is like probably a dude. I'm sure someone saw his fucking car speeding down the highway at like 12 a.m. after like axing a girl outside the freaking pizzeria. There's no way no one saw him axe a girl. There's no way no one saw him axe a girl. I think so, but I remember probably a little food poisoning. Mostly settled outside of court. Were they all just food poisoning cases? Astra, he went into an alleyway. Oh. Okay. Were there no, like, security cameras outside? Were security cameras invented back then? I guess not, huh? All right. gonna continue.
That the haunted metal of the original Freddy's animatronics was now being put into the toy animatronics, causing the toys to also now be possessed. After Afton got away with the first set of murders, he needed to see if the kids' spirits were possessing the animatronics. In order to see for himself, Afton went back to work at the new pizzeria as a daytime security guard. While Afton was working the day
And Henry
shift,
hired
Jeremy
him?
Fitzgerald was working the night shift. Jeremy worked there for 5 nights, and unfortunately for him, because the kids possessing the animatronics were killed by an adult, they were extremely aggressive to any adult they encountered.
They interact with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just stare.
Meanwhile, Afton decided to pull the same trick he did at the old Freddy's location, gaining 5 more victims.
Someone used one of the suits.
Where do you shove them this time?
A yellow one. Someone used it.
Afton used the spring Bonnie suit to pull the same stunt again on 5 more kids. But as he was committing the murders, Charlie from inside the puppet was actively trying to save the kids. She tried enlisting the help of the other animatronics, but it was too late. Afton had already finished what he started. Not only that, him seeing the puppet and Freddy walking around the pizzeria trying to stop him was all the proof he needed that his experiments were successful. The kids he put into the original suits were haunting the animatronics. But there was one problem. Afton knew that the haunted metal of the endoskeletons was the key to everything, but the animatronics were trapped at the pizzeria. There was no way he could bring them back to his underground bunker. He couldn't get to the animatronics if the pizzeria was still open and active. So he needed to find a way to make sure the pizzeria shuts down and fast.
Okay,
Instead of stuffing the new set of victims into the toy animatronics, he decided to leave the kids out in plain sight, scattered throughout the pizzeria. This was a guaranteed way to get the pizzeria shut down. A few hours after Afton committed the murders, Jeremy Fitzgerald showed up for his night shift, unaware of what happened that day.
Hello. What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Listen, just finish your shift. It's safer than trying
Wait. Why finish your shift?
to leave in the middle of the night.
Just leave! Just leave! Are you paying him? Is he on the clock? Is he on the fucking clock? Why? Just leave!
I have one more event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday. You'll be on day shift. Wear your uniform. Stay close to the animatronics and make sure they don't hurt anyone, okay?
The next day, during Jeremy's day shift, one of the animatronics bit him in the head. This was infamously known as the bite
Oh, that
of
was the bite of
87.
87.
Meanwhile, Afton successfully got the pizzeria shut down.
How does this keep
wrote
happening?
about the incident, saying
Oh,
after
no!
being open only a
It's like me when I kill Ada. Oh no, Ada! How could this keep happening? How could you have possibly gotten crushed by that, you silly goose? Oh, you keep making the same mistakes.
few short weeks, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is closing its doors. The new animatronics will be scrapped due to possible malfunctions. However, the original characters are being kept in hopes of a possible reorganization of the company. Since the toy animatronics were now being scrapped, he knew he could get away with taking their endoskeletons. But he also knew that he couldn't risk showing his face at the pizzeria again. So he got his oldest son, Michael, to do the work for him.
Oh my
William
God.
was easily able to get Michael to do whatever he wanted. William was abusive and manipulative, while Michael was haunted by the guilt of what he did to his younger brother. Because of this, Michael basically acted as William's puppet. Michael showed up for the night shift at the now closed Freddy Fazbear's Pizza under a code name, Fritz Smith. At the end of his shift, he would successfully steal the toy animatronics endoskeletons for his father, causing him to get fired his first day on the job due to tampering with the animatronics. As it said in the local newspaper, while Fazbear Entertainment scrapped the toy animatronics, the original Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were going to be fixed up and reused. And that's exactly what they did. After the 1980s.
So are they still haunted then? Because they took the haunted endoskeletons out. No? So is it still haunted? Or is it like a situation where their like soul kind of got split in half? Cause like the endoskeletons went to the toy animatronics, which bit someone because they were angry. The other 5 kids that he killed remained at just the endoskeletons. So the old ones that aren't getting scrapped are are not haunted anymore?
7 Freddy's location shut down, they opened yet another location, this time using the exact same building as the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. As you can imagine, this didn't work out great for the business. People already had a bad impression of Fazbear Entertainment, so using the same building that the original murders took place in didn't help business.
My assumption on the old ones are
Customers
going to be
barely
like,
showed up to the new
I see.
pizzeria, leading it to shut down
Hi, Clark.
by the end of 1993. Although this was bad news for Fazbear Entertainment, this was great news for William Afton. Afton was able to acquire
reuse,
the
reduce,
endos of the toy
recycle limit, right?
animatronics, but that wasn't enough. He needed all of the haunted endoskeletons, especially the ones in the original animatronics. Once the pizzeria shut down, Afton came up with a plan to steal the endos from the animatronics. Each pizzeria was designed with something called a safe room.
As always, if there is ever an emergency, please go to the designated safe room. Every location is built with one extra room that is not included in the digital map layouts programmed into the animatronics.
Why would you do that?
This room
Why would you do that?
Customers invisible to animatronics and is always off camera.
Why would you do that?
This room was hidden from guests and invisible to the animatronics. Afton would use this to his advantage, luring each of the animatronics to the safe room and
This company just makes bad decisions all around, reopening their shit. Like, I know someone said earlier that I would be surprised how easy it is to get investors invested in like a failing business, but like at some point, when kids start dying, that's when you draw the line. You know what I mean? My only question is, why do people... Yeah, exactly. And why? What makes you think that people are going to keep going? Who keeps hosting birthday parties at these places? Oh, congratulations, Timmy. It's your 4th birthday. Let's go to Freddy Fazbear's where you might die. Last 5 establishments were closed because kids died at them. So let's keep going. Maybe you'll win the roulette. Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe I'll get lucky and you'll be dead. I never understood the ultimate goal here. What is he going to do? I'm assuming to study. No. Yeah, what is the point? What is the point of all of this? What is the point of all of this? Science? Mad science?
dismantling them one by one. The kids possessing these animatronics were the same kids he lured into the back room all those years ago. He planned to use the same trick to lure the same kids all over again.
Again? Oh, because they are the same kids. You're right, they are the same kids. Oh. Thank you for him to hydrate. So, like, how easy do you think controlling these animatronics are? You think it's like a quick like 1, 2, 3 step, or is it like learning how to fly in a video game where you have to try to like learn to maneuver things that you don't have? Kind of impressive of these kids. Oh. Gotta say, these original animations are crazy.
Once he finished dismantling each animatronic and stealing their endoskeleton, he brought them down to his underground bunker, where he would melt them all down into one liquid substance called Remnant. Not only did Afton rob these kids of their lives, he would use their souls long after they're gone for his own personal gain.
For what? What are you gonna do with this? Oh, their faces are blurred out because they probably don't even remember what their face looks like anymore. How old do you guys think Afton is? He has 3 kids, so he's probably like 40-something. Oh, God. Solid 40s. 40s to 50s is my guess. Dude, how is he doing all that handy, that lugging work, man? He's like, he's not 80. That's a really good shot. The film student in me is very excited about the framing of these. Can I also just ask this really quickly? How did he get the approval for this underground bunker? I'm sorry. How did he get the zoning approval for these underground bunkers? Because he's gotta have to hire a contractor unless he's so fucking handy. Unless he's so fucking handy that he built everything himself. You think he did? How did you get the approval of any good lobby? Yeah, is that why he needed all that money? Just oops. I think I accidentally fast forwarded. Actually, yeah, I did. I don't know. Where are we? Where are we right now? Oh, here it is. Where did he get the zoning law? Have you watched Breaking Bad? Where does he get the contractors for this, man? This isn't like a freaking train cart in the middle of nowhere. Isn't that what Breaking Bad's lab was? It was like a train cart in the bumfuck nowhere. This is under his basement, isn't it? This is under his house. You have to get like imagine you're trying to build this thing and HOA comes knocking. Willem, you can't do this, man. We can't have like an underground bunker with a giant ass furnace underneath your house. And he's like, why not, man? Government's gotta be in on it. That's what I'm saying. There's no way this guy got the lobbying approval. Got the HOA to approve of this goddamn bunker. I'm sorry. That's what's crazy to me right now, too. Especially with how big that furnace is.
He successfully created Remnant. This substance, containing the spirits of all of the missing children, was silver in color, and if kept at the right temperature, was malleable. Afton didn't want to risk testing the Remnant on himself, so he injected it into the Funtime animatronics. Once he did, the animatronics jumped to life. The experiment had worked. William Afton unlocked the power of life itself. After his successful experiment, he went back to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza to collect his old spring Bonnie suit. But once he got there, he was met with the spirits of the 5 missing children, trapping.
He made soul. Yes, he did make soul metal, but also LMFAO. Why would you go back to get your old suit?
Him inside
Are you dumb?
The safe room. Cassidy, the spirit inside Golden Freddy, chased Afton around the room and forced him to get into the spring Bonnie suit.
For a guy who killed a bunch of people, why is he so scared?
Spirit of them all. Being spring-locked in the Fredbear suit was a painful and slow death, and he wanted to make sure that Afton knew what that felt like. At this point, Afton knew how a spirit could live on. As long as he was inside the suit, he knew he'd be back.
Yikes.
As Afton laughed, the spring locks snapped shut, forcing him to go through what Cassidy went through. This was an act of revenge by Cassidy, and it wouldn't be the last. Afton was now confined to the safe room of the now shut down Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and because of this, everything in his underground bunker was left abandoned. But even with Afton gone, the rental business continued on its own. All of the Funtime animatronics containing the spirits of the missing children and even his daughter Elizabeth were still being rented out during the day and then brought right back down to the bunker. All the spirits wanted to do was escape, but they were always put back.
Who's doing the rental business?
After Afton went missing, his eldest son Michael, who's been blindly helping his father, remembered what his father told him if he ever went missing. If William wasn't there to finish his work,
You think he paid a fair wage? You think he paid a fair wage or no? He didn't run it. Dude, if I was him, I would run it by myself just to no.
Michael would do it for him. Afton's underground facility was always off limits to Michael, but since he was now gone, Michael had no choice. He took the elevator down to where his father worked every day. Although Michael was helping out his father by stealing some of the endos from the animatronics back in the day, he never exactly knew what William was doing.
I wonder if they got
He
insurance.
got down
Good point.
into the bunker.
Animations are awesome. I just want to say, I know I keep saying it, but like I did not expect there to be like all this animation.
Over the several days he
what
visited
is
the
that?
bunker, he learned more about what his father was up to. He learned about the massive facility his father built, complete with multiple rooms conducting fear experiments.
I can bet you $100 every year. Michael was like, "Dad, do I get a Christmas present this year?" And then William was like, "Fuck no! Remember what you did to your brother?" And he's like, "Okay." And then he sees this bunker and he's like, "This is where all the fucking Christmas money goes." Dirt is so mad. Yeah, into a D&D plot hook.
He learned the truth behind the Funtime animatronics and how they were actually designed to kidnap kids. And he learned through the voice of Baby exactly how his sister died.
A little girl.
What do you think he told his
standing
daughter?
by herself. My stomach opened, and there was ice cream. I couldn't move. At least, not until she stepped closer.
But as the week went on, Baby was conducting a plan of her own. A plan to escape the bunker, using Michael's body. Elizabeth was no longer the person Michael remembered her as. She was entirely devoted to her father, and would do anything to make him proud of her. At the end of the week, all of the Funtime animatronics endos were scooped out, with all of them combining
Daddy
into
Issues
one
final
animatronic
boss.
called Ennard. This creature, containing the spirits of the missing kids and Elizabeth, knew they wouldn't be able to escape the bunker looking like an animatronic. They needed a human body to walk around in.
You are in the scooping room now. Funtime Foxy has already been here today. Funtime Freddy has already been here today. Melora has already been here today. Circus Baby has already been here today. I've been out before, but they always put me back.
Oh my god.
They always put
That's
us
so
back
creepy.
inside. There's nowhere for us to hide here. There is nowhere to go when we look like this. But if we looked like you, then we could hide. If we looked like you, then we would have somewhere to go. The scooper only hurts for a moment.
Oh yeah? Oh, like dying? Oh god. Oh my god.
Michael Afton's insides got
feel like
scooped out
watching a
and
horror
replaced
movie, yeah.
by Ennard, helping all of the souls to escape the facility. With
So
every
is he just
passing day
dead?
after this happened, Michael looked more and more like a walking zombie. His skin
No
was
shit.
starting to turn purple, and people started to notice. Michael's body was no longer a good disguise for Ennard, so Ennard ejected itself from Michael. But because the scooper was also a remnant injector, when Michael Afton was scooped, he was also injected with Remnant. The Remnant made it so even after Ennard was gone, he was still able to survive. With Michael now back in full control of his body, he had a new mission. Although he did, one way or another, successfully free his sister from the underground facility, he also learned about all of his father's terrible misdeeds. His loyalty to his father turned to disgust. It was time for him to end all
I would argue that he didn't really have that much loyalty to begin with for his dad, but like, you know.
of this.
Father, it's me, Michael. I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be. They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then they thought I was you.
Gives me meaning to getting
And I
scooped.
found her. I put her back together, just like you asked me to. She's free now. But something is wrong with me. I should be dead. But I'm
He
not.
sounds like a chain smoker.
I've been living in shadows. There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you. I'm going to come find you.
Oh. Michael would spend years searching for his father with no luck, until a new ad in the local newspaper caught his attention. Someone decided to open something called Fazbear's Fright, the horror attraction. Local amusement park is getting ready to scare your socks off with a new attraction
Who's
based on
doing
the
this?
unsolved mysteries of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, featuring
I bet you it's some Gen Z influencer. You want to bet it's some Gen Z influencer that's like, hey guys, what's up? We're gonna revisit the horrors of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, man. There's so many kids that died there, so like we're making a whole real life action experience based on it. It's gonna be lit, bro.
Actual relics.
That was the most cringe shit I've ever done in my life. Oh yeah, whole bunch of horror shit. Yeah, exactly. Sounds pretty good for someone. He sounds like a chain smoker. Hey, Dad.
Old pizzeria, this new attraction is guaranteed to bring back your childhood in the worst possible way.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Using the crimes of his father to make a profit wasn't bad enough, they also went back to the old pizzerias and collected any objects they could find to put on display at the attraction. Michael immediately applied for the job of the security guard with the sole intention of burning the place to the ground. When he got there, he saw the remnants of his past, the shells of all of the animatronics, missing every single one of their endoskeletons. He knew they could only find the shells of the animatronics because he and his father stole their endoskeletons all those years ago, leaving only the shells behind.
Wow.
On day 2 of working at the attraction, he got word that they found a
Astra,
real animatronic.
Not right now.
You're not gonna believe this. We found one. A real one.
This real animatronic ended up being his father, still inside the Spring Bonnie suit he died in decades ago. Even though his father was now in the building with him, he still decided to go through on his plan, all in an effort to end his father once and for all. Michael then rigged the wiring in the building to catch fire, burning the horror attraction to the ground with his father inside.
Well, fair enough. Is he trying to, like, melt his dad down, though? What is his plan here? Is his plan to, like, melt his dad down the way that his dad melted the other kids down?
The local
but then wouldn't he
newspaper
just be a
would write
pile?
about the fire, saying a new local attraction based on an ancient pizzeria chain burned down overnight. Authorities have not ruled out foul play, but at the moment it seems to have been caused by faulty wiring. Although the fire destroyed most of everything in the building, William, miraculously, was able to survive.
Oh my
William
God.
is now free, roaming the outside world along with the souls of the missing children, Elizabeth, and Charlie inside the puppet. Since Michael wasn't able to end everything, someone else needed to step in. That someone was Henry Emily. Afton's old business partner and father of Charlie heard about the fire at Fazbear's Fright.
Finally?
Along with the rumors of the various
After your
animatronic
daughter
creatures
died?
now roaming the streets. Henry was determined to
wild
put
man.
an end to all of this.
It's only now that I understand the depth of the depravity of this creature, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create.
How do you think the two of them met?
Done wasn't enough. He found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy. As if the suffering wasn't enough. The loss of innocence, the loss of everything to so many people. Small souls trapped in prisons of my making, now set to new purpose, and used in ways I never thought imaginable.
Is this a real
He lured
recording?
them all back to a familiar place, back with familiar tricks. He brought them all together. Are they still aware? I hope not. It keeps me awake at night. I could make myself sleep, but not yet. Not until I undo what he has done and heal this wound. A wound first inflicted on me, but then one that I let bleed out to cause all of this. He set some kind of trap. I don't know what it was, but he led them there again. He overpowered them again. And he robbed them of the only thing that they had, again. I don't know how those tiny breaths of life came to inhabit those machines.
Your daughter.
They will never find rest now, not like this. I have to call them all back, all of them, together in one place.
By gathering
Was
all
that
of the animatronics...
was that a real recording from the games? Was that a real recording from the games? That was pretty good. Hi, Soy. That was pretty good that was pretty good. I don't know who recorded that, but props to the voice actor.
in one place and
Yeah?
locking them in the same room, he would be able to burn them all to the ground for good, effectively freeing
Wait,
their
who's the one on
spirits
the
in
right?
process. In order to do this, Henry created a new restaurant called Freddy
there
Fazbear's
we go.
Pizza Place. He knew that the spirits and William couldn't resist coming back to a new location, even if it was all just a trap. Charlie was different though. She was smarter than the rest, so Henry knew she wouldn't be as easily fooled. So he created an animatronic called Lefty, standing for Lure, Encapsulate, Fuse, Transport, and Extract, specifically to capture the puppet and bring it to the pizzeria. While trying to find someone that would help him carry out his plan, one person showed up for the job, a person who was also determined to finally end all of this, Michael Afton. Day after day, the animatronics roaming the streets would show up in the alleyway next to the pizzeria. Baby, aka Elizabeth, the souls of the missing children, and the crying child, now appearing as Molten Freddy, Charlie,
I thought they were
and
together.
Lefty, and his father, William, all showed up in
I
the back.
thought Elizabeth and the other kids were in the same body in that clown mask guy. Why are they separate now?
alley. Michael would then collect each animatronic and throw them into a facility under the pizzeria, designed to be a maze with no exit, where the animatronics would roam around without even knowing they're trapped, until the end of the week, where they would all be burned to the ground. With all of the souls, including William himself, now in one place, Henry's plan was in motion. As far as Elizabeth and William were concerned, this was a good thing. All of this remnant now in one place was all that they wanted.
Damn, Elizabeth is
until
so dedicated
Henry
to her
stepped
dad.
in.
You played right into our hands. Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you? No. This was a gift.
That's her brother.
For us.
That's her
You
brother.
gathered them all together in one place, just like he asked you
They booted Elizabeth out like a fuck. Wait, what?
to. All of those little souls in one place, just for us. A gift. Now we can do what we were created to do and be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch, listen, and be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If you still even remember that name. But I'm afraid you've
Daddy
been
issues
misinformed.
final boss right here.
You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection, and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for
Charlie's
blood
probably
is
like,
driving
what
you
the
in
fuck?
endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you.
That's for Michael?
Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of
Hi, Stardust.
everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting over. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now.
Aww.
It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
Aww.
Henry putting fire to the animatronics may have freed the spirits from the metal of the robots, but some of them still needed help actually moving on into the afterlife. This
it's
help
over.
would come from Charlie. She helped guide the spirits into the robots. Now she would help them move on. In the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, the way a spirit can move on is by them being put into a happy memory. The memory Charlie chose actually comes from the crying child and the day he got bit. Piece by piece, Charlie put that terrible, shattered memory back together. But this time, she would change it into a happy memory. Instead of the crying child getting bit on his birthday, Charlie changed
Wait, it was his birthday when he got bit? Oh, that's fucked up, Michael. Oh my god. Okay, wait, I wanna talk about that really quickly. First of all, welcome in, Stardust. Second of all, that line was that line was hella fire. What did he say? Darkest pit of hell had opened up. Darkest pit of hell had opened up, so don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. I also love that in the animation, what was his name? Springtrap William very much knew it was him because there was like a slight like look in his eye when he said, "What is it? What is it? What is it? So for one of you." I think he knew that was coming. Massive balls. So did Henry also die in that? I know Michael's dead. He said that he there was a way out plan, but he's not gonna do it. So did Henry also just like end his own life in that fire? They all died. Also, I just want to point this out really quickly. There is at least one adult. There is William. Who else was there? Who else was there? There was at least one adult in the vicinity. But no, fucking Charlie was the hardest one to trap. His own daughter was the hardest to trap out of all of them. I'm pretty sure, I am like 90% sure that Elizabeth is probably older than however old Charlie was whenever she died. Because Elizabeth died after Charlie, right? However the fuck old Charlie was, Astra, is because they're not using brains. But like, that doesn't explain why Michael was there willingly and Afton was after his remnant. Oh, I guess he's in remnant form. But isn't his own daughter also in remnant form? I mean, Michael's just a dumb kid. He was a dumbass kid. Like, I want to say yes, he is an asshole for like tossing his brother into the what's it called. But you have to keep in mind, I guess he was barely like a teenager when this happened. Was he? How old was he? Like 12? He was like 12, 14 maybe? Dude, we all do dumb shit as a teenager. I terrorized my cousins when I was a teenager. If I was punished for what I did as a teenager to my cousins, I'd be forever burning in hell, man. He was a dumb teenager with a psychotic dad. I don't really blame him. All right, moving on.
All of the missing kids and Charlie would celebrate him, giving him a giant birthday cake. By changing that terrible memory into a happy one and attaching all of the spirits to it, they were able to successfully pass into the afterlife.
That's nice that she got to do that, though. That's a thumbtack of music. Hi, Nian! Nice. All right, good. Good. Their spirits got released.
Like I said, they were all able to move on. Except for one.
Ah, fuck, it's Cassidy, isn't it? How much you guys want to bet it's Cassidy? Girl, give it up. Heaven is a real place on earth. Wait, is she gonna power the electric? No way.
Cassidy, the most vengeful spirit of them all, wasn't done yet. He decided to attach his soul to William's, making sure that William was unable to move on. By attaching his spirit to William's, he was able to trap Afton in an endless loop of death. He made Afton relive every one of his terrible misdeeds. The fear experiments, his underground bunker, and the pizzeria where Cassidy was killed.
Cassidy, as she should. Wow.
Being attacked and killed over and over again by all of the animatronics from his past. Every time an animatronic would attack him, Cassidy would be there, reminding him that the suffering will never end.
We've only just begun. I will never let you leave. I will never let you rest.
He tried to release you. He tried to release us, but I'm not gonna let that happen. I will hold you here. I will keep you here, no matter how
is that Cassidy talking?
They burn us.
Cassidy knew that Afton didn't deserve the afterlife. He deserved to pay for what he's done for all of eternity.
There's a reason she's nicknamed the one he should not have killed. Isn't that all of them? I'm sorry. Question. Isn't that all of them? She was just screaming profanities like, fuck you, bitch! And he's like, yikes, let's not give this one an endoskeleton. Yeah, she probably called him a furry. She was like, oh, that's why you made so many furry costumes, because you just wanted to go to FurryCon. Did FurryCon reject your invitation, man? As she's twitching out in the suit, as she's twitching the fuck out in the suit, you FurryCon. I don't know, that's what I would do.
But if you keep up with the franchise, you know that that's not the end of the story. Like I said at the beginning of the video, making a FNAF timeline is not easy, no matter what anyone says. In broad strokes, you can explain the basic plot, but once you get down to the motivations and the why of everything, you have to start filling in the blanks yourself. Some people who've helped me fill in the blanks that I'd like to shout out are Right Host for his theory about Cassidy being spring-locked in Golden Freddy. I think that makes a lot of sense and is really satisfying for the narrative. Also, I'd like to shout out MattPat for his theory about
MattPat represent!
That game out for years, I think your explanation makes the most sense. It's important for me to say that no one except for Scott Cawthon himself knows the exact story he was trying to tell. So please make sure to watch other people's timelines as well and come to your own conclusion on everything. And when the time is right,
it's just
I'll
a
be
theory,
back to tackle the newer things in this
theory.
franchise.
Thanks for
Until
watching.
Then, make sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Let's go! Dude, those animations are sick. Dude, that animation was sick. I really like that video. Dude, like these, like, wow. These are so cool. Where he just like showed off all the critical moments in like actual animations. Dude, Baby's huge. Baby's fucking huge. That was really good. So do we know which was the one that did the bite of 87? Which one was the one that did the bite of 87 then? Is it like never confirmed? Angle? The white one? Where's security bridge? Secret of Midnight. No, it wasn't in this video. I enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was fun to watch. Hi, me again. If you enjoyed that video, remember to like and subscribe. And if you feel like it, give me a follow on Twitch. Come hang out with us if you ever have time. We play lots of games. We talk about nonsense. We kind of just do whatever I feel like for the day. All right, until next time.